connecting. And we are live on the scene. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy G11 back at it again with another episode of Homie Talk where we have real discussions about real things happening right now. And of course, I'm joined today by Suspect in the building. What up, Sus?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How's your week been going so far, bro?
My week been all right, doing the best I can. Shit.
Shit, we getting all these snowstorms over here, man. It's just
Oh, it's
crazy.
it's been clean out here. A little rain, little slight rain, but we good. Uh,
Good.
shit, not like in Indiana and Chicago right now where my mom is.
Yeah.
Whew, they finna get like 10 inches.
Well, that and like the East Coast, I know they've been getting. Well, I think their storm ended a couple days ago. They had nor'easter just chilling. So,
Yeah.
but okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I've just been putting in the work, doing this YouTube thing, doing work, doing
Right.
school work. I'm like working 3 times a day,
Work.
bruh. So, but I had to do this live today because I saw an article that just made me be like, all right, we got to talk about this. So,
Right.
uh, I know you're not 100% familiar with this individual, but we're going to talk about Lia Thomas. I'm going to share this page with you in a second so you can see it.
All right.
It's just a second here. So this is Lia.
That's a man.
This
That is a
person,
man,
I would agree. I look at that and I see that defined chin and strong forehead and neck. That's a man, man.
bruh.
But But listen, this is what we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Lia Thomas, formerly known as Will Thomas. Actually, I think Will Thomas is still the legal name, but for with the trans, he switched over to Lia.
All right.
So this article is back on December 9th, right? So University of Pennsylvania senior Lia Thomas has been making headlines so far in the season by producing several record-breaking performances in what is her first year competing as a woman. Thomas, a trans woman, sat down on the Swim Swam podcast to discuss everything from when they realized. So that's the people who did this interview here. So the 22-year-old said that she came to the realization that she was a trans in the summer of 2018, but it took almost a full year before starting the transition process. So that means they didn't start getting hormone therapy until about 2019. Right.
Hmm.
So it's getting an estrogen, or I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do blockers for the male hormone. I don't know how that works,
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that.
but they started. So this is a statement from Lia right here, right? So it says, I first realized I was trans the summer before 2018. There was a lot of uncertainty. They didn't know what they'd be able to do, if they'd be able to keep swimming. And so they decided to swim out the 2018-2019 year as a man without coming out. And that caused a lot of distress to them, which could be real. They could, gender dysphoria is a thing, if you feel like you're trapped in whatever body.
Hmm.
But you've been swimming as a man for like 3 years.
Right.
Let's just keep that in mind, like top tier, top level. So let's continue getting through it. I was struggling. My mental health was not very good. There's a lot of unease, basically just feeling trapped in their body, and that's when they decided to come out and start the transition. So they started in May of 19. Hormone replacement therapy came out to the Penn swimmers in the fall of 2019. She describes the 2019-2020 season, her junior campaign, as incredibly uncomfortable, as she's still competing on the men's team despite being in the process. Which, again, I can't, I don't understand that. My brain doesn't compute. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Mm.
After a standout sophomore year that included runner-up finishes in the 500 freestyle, 1000 freestyle, and 1650 free at the 2019 Ivy League Championships, Thomas said she struggled the following year during the transition. They continued to train, but only competing as much as she felt comfortable. Yep. So I think the rest of the article just details their experience and how the NCAA had a transgender policy and all that. Let's see. It says a trans female treated with testosterone suppression medication may continue to compete on a men's team, but may not compete on a women's team without changing it to a mixed team status until completing 1 year of testosterone suppression treatment. So there's suppression. So I think that was the rule. IOC had a rule as the Olympic Committee, and basically the whole thing is they didn't want to exclude anybody out of sports. They wanted to be all inclusive, equality, right?
Yeah.
So herein lies the problem. I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna share this article. Well, not an article. It's a video from the former. She was a former USA swimming official, Cynthia Millen. So she resigned. I think it was towards the end of 2021 because she didn't agree with Lia competing on the women's team. I'm gonna pull that
Okay.
up real quick. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
It's weird, man.
It's
Oh,
very
go ahead.
weird.
I'll let you go ahead and play that.
That's not the video.
Oh, one job, but no, it's weird. Honestly, like, weren't we just talking about this? Like, what it was not too long ago. It was about another man beating records for a women's sport or women's
Yep.
activity. I think it
Well,
was
that's exactly what Lia Thomas has been doing, though.
yeah. So it's not the first one to happen, but it's still like you are a whole ass built man. You are built like a boy.
Your bones, your density, and she talks about this a little bit in this clip. So give me a
Okay.
second here, because they asked her they asked her,
Axter.
they asked her what she thought.
And 911. What's your emergency?
Someone asked me. Okay, here we.
All right, can you
Swimmers
verify
and
your race?
swimmers. The fact is that swimming is a sport in which bodies compete against bodies. Identities do not compete against identities. And from the very beginning, when you start out as an age grouper, swimmers are divided by sex and by age group, 8 and under, 9, 10, etc., all the way up, because from the very beginning, swimming, USA Swimming recognizes that boys swim differently from girls. And this is just accentuated when boys and
This is coming from a woman. just putting it out there because people don't like when men talk about this stuff because they feel like we're being sexist and biased against women, but we're just speaking facts about this stuff.
Right.
So I'm gonna let her dig in. I'm gonna let her preach some more.
girls go through puberty. Boys will always have larger lung capacity, larger hearts, greater circulation, a bigger skeleton, and less fat. Girls go through puberty and they have a double whammy. They not only grow breasts and hips, but they have periods, and they often have a totally different center of gravity. They have to learn how to swim over again. So while Lia Thomas is a child of God, he is a biological male who is competing against women, and no matter how much testosterone suppression drugs he takes, he will always be a biological male and have this advantage. And it's horrible. The statement for women then is, you don't matter, what you do is not important, and little girls are going to be thrown under the bus by all of this. He's going to be
Now she just dropped nothing but bars.
Bars.
She dropped nothing but bars right there. What you think?
Crazy, man, because like now, like he, not saying he wasn't doing good on the men's side. He said he was struggling with his like mental health and whatever, feeling like he was trapped. Understandable. Mental health is a big factor in your day-to-day life. You know,
Sure.
if you feel unwell, you're not who you normally are, or you're not what people are accustomed to. So with this whole transgender or transitioning, sorry, it's, if you wanted to go still swim, cool. That is totally you. That is something you love. Nobody can take that from you. But when you're sitting here trying to claim or just break these records and just like compete as a woman, but you are a man, you might feel like a woman on the inside. You might that is, but, and that's you. But to everyone else, you are a boy. You were born a man. You were built like a man, like she stated. like
Yep.
bigger lung capacity,
Bigger
less
heart.
fat, yeah,
Hmm.
bigger heart, all
And
that.
guess what? We get stronger. Men get stronger as they go through puberty.
Yeah,
Women get more prepared for childbirth. Like she
right,
mentioned, they get the breasts, the hips, all that kind of stuff. They periods start. Like that's when you start noticing women are a little more hippie type
right,
stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's it changes their bodies in a way where they're not going to be able to compete, and that's not bias. That's biology.
right. There's no biasness. You can't be biased when it's it's the way we were made.
That's how we were made. So, but don't listen to us. Don't listen to us. Let's let Caitlyn Jenner explain.
Oh God.
Let's let Caitlyn Jenner explain. Okay, now
This
if
wait
you didn't
before you
know,
start that. Before you start, this is a Olympic medalist right here
mm-hmm,
who won several different medals.
he's a gold medalist.
Yes, but he always competed as a man. And then when he was done with his career and all the whatever he had to go with through with the Kardashians and whatever, but that's a whole different story. He was already done, and he done competing. So his time is done. This is what he wanted to do after the fact.
Yeah,
He
but
still got shit
even
for it, but at the end of the day, you're not trying to claim or take away from a women's activity.
right. I mean, I would like to pose the question: like, is that really making it fair for women or protecting women by allowing men, biological men, to compete in the sport? I would say no.
Yeah,
I
I
would
have
say
to
it's
agree.
I would say it's absolutely not fair allowing them to do that. Again, all the advantages we talked about. But don't listen to
That's
us.
that's just like hey, say if you went and put LeBron in a WNBA game,
Oh my god.
bruh, he is dunking on everybody.
Ain't
He is
nobody stopping this
ain't
man.
nobody stopping him.
He, he can't not be 6 foot and muscular.
Right.
Like he's been LeBron James for how old is LeBron?
Oh,
Like is
like
he in his 40s?
yeah, somewhere I think I don't remember honestly. Yeah, I
No,
know
he's
somewhere
older.
somewhere up there.
But if he just decided tomorrow, you know what, I want to be a woman,
Right?
and played in the league, it doesn't change the years of him being a man, and even in his older years, he would still dominate out there.
All
So
right.
check this out. Check this out. That's why I thought Caitlyn Jenner was a good speaking point for this. So let's see what she has to say.
California gubernatorial candidate Caitlyn Jenner.
God.
Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce join us for reaction. Caitlyn, I noticed in the Piers article you were quoted as saying some really interesting things to me. And we've known each other for a long time. And you said the NCAA is kicking the can down the road. In the case of Lia Thomas, you said you don't care about her testosterone levels now for the last year or two, but you care about it for the first 16 or 17 years of her life. And you even mentioned that you wouldn't play in a all-women's golf tournament because you can still outdrive all girls by 100 yards, and you have no testosterone. I know you've taken heat for saying that. Explain.
Well, I've been pretty consistent, Sean, from the beginning.
I know the voice threw you off because it threw me off too.
I was. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
We can laugh about it, but I mean, that's just what it is. I mean,
That is that is a man.
She was Bruce Jenner for a long time.
Yes.
So,
That's still yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah.
I've said that biological boys should not play in women's sports. It is just not fair. We have to protect women's
Look at that
sports from
Sasquatch
something like
amongst
this.
all those women.
Lia Thomas, first of all, I respect her right
at the
to
shoulders,
live her
like,
life authentically. Suffering from
That's a strong, independent woman suspect. That's a real woman, So that's a lot of trans women, or I won't say a lot. I think it's a minority actually of that group that wants to just argue the fact about women versus trans women and what's a real woman and this and that. Instead of saying like real woman, they want to call or biological women, they want to have them change it to the term people who can carry children or something like that. I'm like, what? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
What man can carry a child? Huh?
Right.
What man can carry a child? What man can produce? Let me not say that one, because that's some weird shit. Because men have been known to do that too.
I just don't understand why we want to keep changing the goalposts or keep changing the vocabulary of stuff that already exists just to fit our, a certain narrative or a certain need, right? Or now they literally don't like biology. They don't like that, the natural women. Oh, I am a woman. Look, listen, nobody cares. Just don't force that shit on me. You know what I'm saying? And also, we care about the sports part in competition. We do care about that. But in your everyday life, you want to be a woman? Fine. I don't care. You could do that.
That's you.
Don't force that shit on me.
Right.
Okay? That's when it's a problem. So, but I thought it was interesting that Caitlyn Jenner here actually agreed. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd we go? Actually agreed with defending women. I think it's important we defend women's sports because it's disingenuous to say that men aren't going to outclass them.
Yeah.
From gender dysphoria is a horrible lifelong struggle. And every story is different. Let me tell you, Sean, I know that one. And I respect her right to do that. But with that comes some responsibility and integrity in what you're doing. And I don't know why she's doing it. We live in this woke world right now.
Woo!
That's driving me crazy. I feel sorry for the
Woke.
girls on the Penn team
Caitlyn Jenner
because
knows.
they have to be so woke and say, "Oh, this is great." We're down deep inside. They're saying this is wrong. And a couple of them anonymously because they can't come out, and parents have now come out, but they have to do it anonymously and say this is wrong, and it is wrong. And I'm very disappointed in the NCAA. They did kick the can down the road, but we have to deal with this issue. We have to protect women's sports. They've worked.
All right. That's enough out of Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, correction.
My bad. It's very easy to slip that up. But he made the point. Even the teammates, they're actually uncomfortable with what's going on.
Right.
But in public, they're going to say, this is great. Yay, equality. When they know deep down, they're like, this is some bullshit.
Right.
We got a fair chance to do nothing.
Right. And then go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's just I don't know. I lost my train of thought, man. It just befuddles me.
So I'm going to show you. This is the final point for this, right? I want to show you how we know they are uncomfortable about it.
Okay.
Which one was this? Okay, it's that one. So this is an article that came up a few days ago, back in towards the end of January.
We're uncomfortable in our own locker room. Of course you would be. You gotta. Never mind.
So watch. Let's dig into this a little bit. Let's unpack this.
Okay.
We're uncomfortable in their own locker room. Lia Thomas, UPenn teammate, tells how the trans swimmer doesn't always cover up her male genitals when changing, and their concerns go ignored by their coach. The coach is like, nope, I don't care. Equality or
right?
inclusiveness.
You can't treat him any other way, or her any other way.
My question is, at what point does, he still has a dick?
Yeah.
He's just letting it flop around in the locker room, and they don't want to see that. They're like, oh, this is weird. Look at this. Sharing a locker room with the transgender swimmer Lia Thomas has become a point of contention of some of her teammates. Mm-hmm. This article isn't blowing up because they don't, you can see it's on, where'd I get this, Daily Mail. But CNN isn't covering this particular article. No one's really giving this one any light of day, but I think it's important we look at it. Mm-hmm. They feel uncomfortable changing in the private space with someone undergoing gender transition. It's definitely awkward because Leah still has male body parts and is still attracted to women.
So
Well, you can't make
why?
this shit up.
Why
You
allow
can't make
this in?
up. Bro.
Why allow this man is still what? Since this man like is in the locker room with, let's say, 15 minimum different women and on the swim team, you and is still attracted to women, and he doesn't cover up. Man's is bullshitting. That's
So
all I
what-
gotta say.
What
Man's
happens
is
when
bullshit.
you see a girl you like and she's naked? Right. Instant erection.
Right.
Soldier salute. You know what I'm
Bruh.
saying? So I can imagine that being uncomfortable for them.
Right.
I can imagine that. So that's what I'm saying. At what point do we actually consider Leah as a man or a woman? He still has his parts and he still gets erect. Like that's, I mean,
He is still physically he, whatever you want to fucking call
she's
it.
still physically.
It.
She's undergoing hormone therapy. I want to try to be correct. I don't want to be disingenuous and just be an asshole with it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, she still has a dick.
Yeah, it still does. Like that's proof and example. Like you cannot have
Listen,
woman that is just claiming to be a man claiming to be a woman just because they took some hormone blockers. You are still built like a man. If you are still getting sexually aroused by females in your locker room, like what are you doing? Are you just doing this for publicity, or like what is your end game for this?
It makes you question the motive for sure. But you know, if my daughters were on the team and something like that was going down, I'm pulling them off the team. I'm like, what?
But why should that be an option? Why should you take your daughters who've been doing this, and this is something they love to do or like to do? This is something they chose.
They've been training hard and putting in work. Like we can't discount that because women athletes train just as hard as anybody else so they can kick ass at the sport.
Right. So why should you take out your kids or your daughter just because a man wants to come in and be a woman to compete?
That's the $1 million question, my guy. That's literally the $1 million question because we have to take the needs of one above the needs of many. That's why.
And that's bullshit. It's like, that's just like what is that? What is it? Like you said, fuck, what is it? Would you let one, what is it? Fuck. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Right? But it's basically, would you let one person die to save hundreds, or would you let that one person die or one person live and kill 1,000?
Bro, I'm sorry. The numbers just aren't on that one person's side. You know what I'm saying? You got to die so these people could live. Preservation of many. We got to, you know what I'm saying?
Like, it's
why are
it's
we
out of
caring
selfishness.
Why are we caring so much about the minority in this case?
And especially when you're perfectly capable in holding your own on the men's side of swim.
He did. He was a runner up. Like that's swimming, compete. Like it's a hard sport. You know what I'm saying? And again, like that, like the lady said at the beginning, is bodies competing against bodies, and he's just crushing the competition. He's breaking records. So
I don't think they should be validated. I don't think those record breaking trial or look whatever it is. I don't think they should be validated because those were built with established with women physique.
So we're gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to that in a second. That'll be my final point to kind of bring this all home. But let's get through the rest of this one. Just see if there's anything else we can glean. This really is just about the teammates being uncomfortable. It says, while Lia covers herself with a towel, sometimes there's a decent amount of nudity. She and the others have had a glimpse of her private parts. She stated that the team members have raised their concern with the coach, trying to get Thomas ousted from the female locker room, but got nowhere. This is what inclusiveness gets us. Unwanted. I mean, isn't this a crime? Like unwanted flashing? Basically, Yeah, right? Isn't that a crime?
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Yeah, well,
Because they don't
kind
want
of,
to see
yes.
that. They don't want to see that shit.
On one hand, if you look at it, that is basic. The school is not trying to do shit because they don't want to single out
They don't want to get
this
canceled.
one
They're scared about getting canceled.
this one individual. They would rather have this one individual do or say or do what they want to, opposed to shutting it down and taking a rap for it. You know,
Make a
they
transgender category for swimming. Then that's my answer.
right.
Like, why don't mix the teams like that?
Exactly. Y'all want to have a third gender anyway, 3, 4, 5, 6 genders. Why not make another team or, something else down the road to compensate for that? There should be a man's team. There should be a woman's team. And whatever the fuck else is in between, y'all can have that.
like exactly. We gotta, if you really want to be inclusive and really make it fair, this isn't the way to do it. And then also you have safety concerns with now you have this, person who's in transition. They're flashing their genitals, and it's not, and they tried to bring it up, and the coach is like, "No, sorry, can't do nothing about it. That's a woman." That's bullshit.
You are
man.
deliberately. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. Let's move on. The next part.
All right. Let me get through the last.
Look
one.
at
Actually, I
this
think
man. Look at
That's him,
Bruh.
or that's her. I'm sorry, that's her.
bruh's tucking.
I see genitals. I see right there. You can't see my cursor, but that's. Oh, yes, you can, sort of. Oh, it's gone. Basically, that's a bulge. Look at it. There's no hook there
Bruh,
at all.
see,
That's a
when
dick.
we gotta analyze this picture this much, this is bush. Bruh.
But you can
suspect.
look at the
I know
build.
my name is that, but damn.
Look at the build. The broad shoulders, come on, man. He's gonna swim better.
I ain't gonna even say the broad shoulders, the slim line, fucking
and that's the whole team. That's
Yeah.
the whole team there. He's in the back. Some
Look at it.
fine-ass
Look
women
at
right
him
there.
just over here. Look.
They
Hey,
got some
Hey!
nice.
we ain't got time for that.
Got some nice ab work going on there. I mean, goddamn, looking good. UPenn swim team. Anyways, she said UPenn's handling of the locker room issue is emblematic of the school's overall approach to the Lia Thomas controversy, with the school bending over backwards to make Thomas feel welcome without seeming to care how it affects her teammates, which we just said, caring about the one over the many.
Yeah.
Because in the name of wokeness and really, I think it's out of fear. They don't want to get canceled because they've seen how it plays out.
Right.
Okay, so we covered how they're uncomfortable. We covered how even other transgender people are pretty reasonable about this. I think most are, to be honest. Like I said, I think it's that small minority that is just the loudest talking about how it doesn't matter. But I've got one more thing to show you, which is actually the core of this thing tonight.
Okay.
How I think UPenn is actually starting to wake up a little bit. Let me just pull that up. This is crazy. I can't believe this is even a conversation. But here we are in 2022.
It shouldn't even be, but we've already had this conversation once before.
Yeah. USA Swimming debuts new trans swimmer policy as Penn athletes back Lia Thomas.
Wait, what?
So we just saw the article how the athletes were saying they feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a little private leak. They didn't say exactly who the athlete was, but
now
publicly
Go ahead.
Well, USA Swimming, I think, is over the entire college program, if that makes the college swimming program. So they make the rules for the sport that I think affects different college. I don't know. I gotta look at how that shit works. But let's do this. Let's get down into it. There's Lia right there, looking
like a whole ass man, mid fucking 20s.
So here we go. USA Swimming announced a new policy on transgender swimmers Tuesday. That was just this week, spelling out detailed medical requirements for trans women. Specifically, the same day swimmers at University of Pennsylvania wrote an open letter backing a trans teammate after she faced blowback for setting school records. Like I said, in the public view, the team has to act like it's all good and they care. Yay, we support you. They have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we know how they really feel. Ladies, I know how you really feel. I got you back. So just below there, USA Swimming said that panels of 3 medical experts will evaluate each individual trans swimmer who wishes to compete at the elite level and make a determination whether her physical development prior to her transitioning gives her an unfair advantage over her cisgender competitors. I don't even know why they have to do this evaluation. Maybe just to try to make it fair, but we already know they get an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Her testosterone levels must be less than 5 nanomoles per liter for 3 continuous years or more. So that's the twist there. Before you can even compete, you have to meet that level for 3 years or more. Which I don't know if that still makes a big difference because your body structure doesn't necessarily change, but
Right. You're not shape shifting into a woman. You're still built like a man, regardless if you have 5 or less nanomoles of fucking testosterone.
but they said for 3 years, so they're making it a little bit more stringent because they're recognizing something here, that there's a disparity, right?
Right.
So the policy applies to swimmers ages 13 and older who want their race times to count towards potential records in high-level competitions nationwide. So that's what you're talking about earlier.
Right.
We go down a little bit more. The athletes want to express their full support. Lying asses. Come on, y'all ain't got a lie to kick it. We know what it is.
Right.
The announcement came as members of Penn's women's swimming and diving team released a statement backing their trans teammate, who spent 3 years competing on the Penn swim team as the man's Penn swim team. And anonymous accounts attributed to a women's swim team member had bashed Thomas and said she could not compete, blah, blah, blah. I think that's all we care about here, but I think the key thing is they're talking about the elite policy. I think it just needs to be a broad stroke across the whole program, honestly. Let me stop the screen here. But we pretty much beat this up. At point blank period, people who are watching, you just, in my opinion, men and women should not be competing at high level sports and in combat sports in the same arena. That's just, it's not fair. Men are always going to have the advantage. I don't care what anybody says. Look at the data, look at the science, look at the statistics on this stuff. So UPenn didn't just do that policy change for no reason.
Right.
You know, they realize, they're like, oh, the statistics are showing that women are getting their ass beat. This boy is taking all the records. It's not rocket science. Suspect,
it's ridiculous.
Anything to close, man?
He a man. That's all I got. That is all I got. At the end of the day, you can be whatever you want to be.
Do what you want.
Do what you want. Exactly. But when it comes to claiming these, like, setting these records, he's probably not doing them on purpose or whatever. He's just swimming because they are swimming because they like to swim and compete. That is fine. But when you want to seriously compete, I think and you're of a trans variety, trans fats. No, when you are of a trans variety, why not make a whole nother category or space for that?
Yeah, because this inclusiveness ain't it, man.
Yeah.
It's actually knocking women, whammon. God.
Whammon.
This inclusiveness is actually detrimental to women. Okay.
Whammon.
It's detrimental to the cause. This isn't what women have fought for all these years.
Women, bruh.
I would say whammon. I like whammon.
Whammon.
But it's detrimental to the cause. It's not fair to women all over the world. Nobody likes it. You can look on any article. You could Google any type of like transgender in sports, and the women are just getting dunked on, man. Protect women's sports. I'm a feminist, goddammit.
You're a feminist.
Care about
Protect the women's sports.
Protect the women.
The women.
That's it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Leave a like and a comment down in the box below. Let us know what you guys think. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're well on the road to 1,000. So until next time, y'all, peace.
And be safe from any Pastor Franks.
Oh my God, Pastor Frank.